Hello everyone, this is Dethimap here, and this is part 2 of my Clue card randomizer and distributor project. I will be showing the updates that I've made since the last video, and there's quite a few. First off, in these two I only have 6 cards, and I also changed it so that all very different. That way I can tell that it is randomized. However, in the last one, there's still 9 cards representing the locations. As such, I removed the comparator from these two because it only really matters how much is in the last one, considering there's a full 9 in there. Otherwise, it did cause a few problems. The second thing I changed is, instead of having a repeater go around here, triggering them at one by one, I decided to make it so they're all triggered at the exact same time. So the pistons would extend at the same exact time. Now that's about it for what I've changed on the top part. Underneath here we have changed quite a lot. This entire section here is designed solely on randomizing the items and then putting them in this chest. So why don't we take a quick look at how this works. It'll take a little bit, but as soon as you see this redstone activate, yep, the piston will extend the chest underneath this dropper, which will then activate, causing this to rapidly dispense the items. And as soon as this dispenser is empty, the piston will retract, so you can look in here and see that the items are indeed randomized. Of course, there's going to be a lot of gold next to each other, but that's the nature since there's more gold than there are any of the other items. So why don't we take a quick look at how this works. So, after the previous video, when all of this is all said and done, the items, when the, choking on my own words, when the piston retracts with the chest full of items in it, it will dispense into these hoppers, or the hoppers will grab the items, I should say. Now, in order to make this completely fair, I made the length of each hopper line the exact same. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, hold on. Yeah, 9, sorry, miscounted. This length is 9. This one, however, I had to be a little bit trickier with since it's dead set in the middle. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The center one doesn't count since that's where they all meet, and the same over here, 9. So all items will reach this point at the exact same time, and then they will dispense in the dropper at the more or less the same time. But the dropper will randomly drop the items into this chest out of the 9 that are in here. So the way this works is, as soon as one item enters the dropper, it will trigger this comparator to activate this redstone signal, turning off this redstone torch, which will both extend the chest underneath the dropper, and it will unlock this part of the redstone timer that I have here. But you can also see that there's a longer line here. Now this line is exactly 15 redstone long. So as soon as this dropper is full of all 9, the comparator will send out a signal that is exactly 15 redstone long, and then it will hit this repeater, which will turn off this torch, retracting the sticky piston, activating this observer. The observer will set a redstone signal very quickly, so I have a delay on both of these timer repeaters to give it a more longer length, or a longer time activated, which will activate this lock system, which you've seen the previous video I talked about a little bit, which will lock this so this entire line will not activate anymore. But on this side, it will trigger this, which will turn on the redstone signal permanently here, which will turn off this lock, and with both of these locks turned off, this will turn into a timer, which will activate and turn on the dropper repeatedly to drop the items into the chest. However, when the dropper is empty, this signal will turn off, causing this redstone torch to turn back on, locking this so the timer turns off. So I'll show it in action one more time. As you can see, it extends. That lock turns off right there. That lock turns on. That lock turns off. So now the timer is activated. But as soon as the dropper is empty, the lock turns on, causing this to stop, and the piston retracts. So you can see exactly what's in here. Randomized. You can compare this to the last thing. Also, one item from each one placed in order. Now, this is only the first thing that I changed, but due to the nature of my world, the fact that I built this a little bit lower than I probably should have, I had to create a separate entity, or a separate build to show the rest of this. So in the next part, we will be going over how I distribute the items evenly and randomly. So, I'll see you all next time. Thank you.